studio in Utah, California. A woman and her 2 great-grandchildren are the latest victim. That brings the death toll to 5, with more than 10 others still missing. And officials say that number could rise. Officials blaming scorching temperatures, low humidity, and windy conditions for helping the fire spread. Of that fire is contained. An emotional plea from the family of a man who has been picked up by ICE under questionable circumstances. Pro-immigration activists and family members of Edison Barros gathered in Lower Manhattan earlier today. They're accusing the NYPD of working with ICE and racially profiling the 46-year-old father of 2 when he was arrested in May. Barros is an undocumented immigrant from Ecuador who, according to ICE, was detained after his arrest. Final order of removal issued by an immigration judge in 2003. Barros was arrested in Queens for allegedly throwing his keys at someone's vehicle he had a verbal dispute with and scratching the driver's side door. Now he's currently
He sounds like Abby.
He sticks, man. I can't stop scratching.
Shut it.
You know what? She's an illegal too.
That they actually were able to deport, to try to deport Edison with. It's the same database.
Don't put me on.
I ain't putting you on. You're talking.
For no reason, for unjust causes, they're put in a data system that then ICE has access to.
Where is he? There he goes. He's gonna have to learn his lesson real quick. That that yellowfish ain't someone to mess with. Oh, he's getting to learn real quick.
And so far we have not heard back. Meanwhile, President Trump defending ICE in his weekly address.
Without the brave heroes of ICE, we would have no enforcement, no laws, no borders, and therefore we wouldn't even have a country.
The president says one of the critical lessons
Here's
of
the
the
movie.
9/11 terror attacks is that immigration enforcement saves lives.
Usually they don't let him out this soon,
Abolishing
but
the federal agency would lead to more
he's gonna have to learn real quick.
After more than 60 years,
That's a mess.
North Korea has returned the remains of dozens of American military personnel missing from the Korean War. Dave Bowens looks at this latest sign of progress in the previously icy relations between the 2 nations.
After making a rare flight into North Korea, the U.S. transport plane arriving in the south, one by one, 55 small caskets wrapped in United Nations flags loaded into nearby vehicles.
The ones that didn't get to come home.
The vice president will be there for the next stop when the unidentified service members killed during the Korean War arrive back on American soil in Hawaii later this week.
And my wife and I are deeply moved and deeply honored to be able to be there when we bring our boys home. The memorial here in Lower Manhattan honoring the nearly 36,000 Americans who were killed during the Korean War. Of those, almost 7,700 remain unaccounted for, including nearly 5,000 who were killed in North Korea.
Doing good
We
so
have many
far.
others coming, but I want to thank Chairman Kim.
President Trump saying the transfer is a direct result of that summit in Singapore, all part of the ongoing negotiations over denuclearization with the Kim regime.
Fulfilling a
All
promise
right.
that he made to me.
So far he looks like
And
he's
I'm
doing
sure that he
okay.
will continue to fulfill that promise as they search.
We'll just have to
and
learn
search
who's
and
the boss.
search.
The remains will now be analyzed closely. Any dog tags, scraps of clothing, and DNA analysis could help with identification, but also verification. The New York Times reports North Korea has previously shipped back unidentified individuals and even animal bones. Still, officials are optimistic.
When you have that sort of communication going on, it sets a positive environment, a positive tone for other things more important things in terms of international.
Yep, there's the newbie. He's doing well so
Important
far.
as well for those directly involved, like the son of Captain John Henry Zimmerly,
See
whose
his
plane
eyes.
went down in 1952 over North Korea and has been missing ever since.
We want to see some results. We want the remains to be identified. I'm sorry. We want our family members to come home.
It's a tiny fraction of those still missing, but potentially an important step in the diplomatic path ahead. Dan Bowens, Fox 5 News.
Francis accepting the resignation of a high-profile cardinal. U.S. Prelate Theodore McCarrick, a former Newark Archbishop, has given up his position in the College of Cardinals following allegations of sexual abuse, including one involving an 11-year-old boy. Pope Francis has ordered the 88-year-old McCarrick to go into a seclusion of a life of prayer and penance until a church trial is held. The Vatican says the Pope wants to send a strong message that sexual abuse will not be tolerated. A scary scene at a mall in Texas. Reports of gunshots fired inside the shopping center near the U.S.-Mexico border sent people running to the exits, many taking cover in a store across the street. But authorities say the sound was actually glass cases being shattered during an attempted robbery at a jewelry store. Police say no shots were actually fired, and all known suspects have been taken into custody. In just a few days, the public will be able to download blueprints showing them how to construct 3D printable guns. A U.S. judge rejected a last-ditch effort by gun control groups to intervene. The supporters are calling it a win for the First and Second Amendments. But opponents, they say making blueprints available online will make it easier for criminals and terrorists to obtain weapons. That cannot be traced.
The last one I had that had eyes like his died within a week.
Releasing the plans August 1st.
I'm hoping he survives. He looks like he's doing well though already.
Spectrum. The State Public Service Commission says Spectrum has not kept its commitment to expand its broadband network to underserved areas. The state set those terms back in 2016 when Charter Communications merged with Time Warner Cable.
They have breached their franchise agreement by being behind schedule in their build-out, even though their ads state the exact opposite. And they have not been forthright with the consumers in this state.
Governor Cuomo says another company will be brought in to take over for Spectrum. The service for customers will not be interrupted. Also not interrupted, the mugginess, the heat, the humidity. Audrey is here with a look at the next half of the weekend forecast. Audrey.
Already, we're actually going to see an interruption in that weather flow. We are going to see drier weather working in starting tonight, and tomorrow is going to be a bit more comfortable than we experienced across the tri-state area today. It was a warm day all across the region. A lot of our high numbers were mostly in the 80s, from Iceland even out towards Montauk Point. It was 84 degrees in Bridgeport earlier today, and down the shore in Belmar, it was a great beach day with a high of about 88 degrees. That's the same number we found out in Newark, and we were in the 80s also in the Hudson Valley. Here's a look at the current temperatures. We're at 76 out at Montauk Point. It's still mild in Bridgeport as well as up towards Poughkeepsie. It's warm in Newark right now at 80 degrees, and same thing right here in Manhattan. In fact, the warmest numbers are in and around the city at the moment. That's where we're finding a lot of readings in the upper 70s to about the low 80s in places around Queens and in Brooklyn this evening. All right, so we had a couple of showers roll through earlier. There were some downpours and a couple of isolated thunderstorms. Things are relatively quiet at the moment, and we did have that one shower passing through portions of Connecticut earlier, but now that's quickly exited to the east, so everyone in Fairfield County can be sure that it should remain pretty dry as we go through the rest of the night. In fact, much of the area is seeing much quieter weather compared to a few hours ago. A lot of the showers and storms have either fizzled out or they've shifted out to the east. So that will generally be the trend as we go through the rest of the evening. We're expecting clearing skies. In fact, some of the clouds will break apart.
Well, normally my fish are sleeping right now.
Will be slightly cooler than that.
I'm gonna click on a black light.
Tomorrow, we'll wake up
And he's gonna
sunshine. It'll stick with us throughout
have to just make it through the night with these guys.
That's about it. We're going for temperatures mostly in the 5 below.
And when does the quest for self-improvement cross the line?
Well, that's it. It's nighttime for them. Thanks for watching. We'll see how good he does over the next few days. You look like he had a good intro. Peace. They're only being passive because there's so many of them in there. Overstocking is key, bro.